You got a new saint you want to honor, or?
Well, specifically, though, we were talking in the break, though, you were talking about a law that you guys found that was talking about not having the pedophiles in there and how it would bring down the church and let the other governments take over. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Ratzinger and how he's calling for a New World Order, what that means, and then that new cathedral that's a Masonic temple, and a lot more with Hutton Gibson.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hey folks, Alex Jones here with an important question. When was the last time you used pure soap? I mean the hard-to-find kind that's all natural and not full of corrosive toxins and chemicals and detergents that just dry out your skin and have been connected to very serious health problems? Let me tell you something about the Cal-Ben Pure Soap Company. There's a 100% unconditional guarantee on all their wonderful products. They're all natural, they're triple concentrated, they're factory direct, factory owned, and operated since 1947. Earth-friendly pure soaps for bathing, laundry, and kitchen. Try Pure Soap once and I'll guarantee you'll never use anything else. Now for the first time, Cal-Ben Pure Soap is available factory direct to you and your family. Save up to 85% off supermarket and retail store prices. Call today for a Cal-Ben Soap catalog at 1-800-340-7091. That's 1-800-340-7091 or on the web at calbenpuresoap.com.
We at The Bible Says want to alert the world to the topic of the Mark of the Beast. Soon it will be upon us as an overwhelming surprise. The world is pressing toward a forced one-world religion. The real issue behind this is the union of church and state, nullifying our First Amendment. Americans will have to give up their peculiar beliefs and accept what the New World religious leaders prescribe. In 2005, President Bush signed the Real ID Act, which goes into effect May 11, 2008. Many people believe that this will be the mark of the beast because of the restrictive measures included, which seems to parallel the no buying and selling of Revelations 13:17. In Revelations 14:9, speaking of the mark of the beast, it says, "If any man worship the beast, take notice." It says, "Worship the beast." This issue is about worship, not economics. For a better understanding of this very important topic and to receive your 3 free books and a free DVD, call 1-888-211-1715. That's 1-888-211-1715.
Ted Anderson from Midas, January 23rd, 2007, gold 642, ounce gold coins are at 663, 334.05 for half and 167.02 for quarter ounce coins at 663, 334.05 and 167.02. 1971, Nixon closes the gold window. Fiat currency, 1920s, the German mark explodes from 75 to 23 trillion. 1995, gold doubles against the Mexican peso. 1997, gold increases 82% over the Indonesian rupee. 1998, gold jumps 2/3 over the Russian ruble. 2002, the Argentine peso loses a fifth of its value to gold. 2006, the last superpower, the USA's mighty dollar, loses over half to gold and other raw goods. Could government let this happen? Without immediate backing, how much will it lose? Midas has Nick Barashev's report covering the loss of purchasing power, fat tail events, bull market economic vulnerabilities, and gold-oil relationship. You've lost half of your purchasing power. Call 800-686-2237 before the rest disappears. That's 800-686-2237.
World War II veteran, National Jeopardy champion back in the 60s, and, of course, author, father of Mel Gibson and 10 other children. Hutton Gibson is our guest, for those who just joined us. I mean, every few months, some Catholic cardinal calls for a one-world government, a new world order. Ratzinger has done it 3 times. That's the current so-called pope. And so people could debate all day, you know, was the Catholic Church evil 100 years ago? Was it evil 50 years ago? There is no debating. There's no debating that this is not the Catholic Church it was, and there's no debating the fact that it is a total tool of one world government, and the symbolism and the buildings they're building and everything they're doing is pushing for a one world religion. Break down for us, Hutton, what Ratzinger means from your studying of him, and you've written a book, you know, a lot of it's about him, about what he means when he says a new world order, and why he's going to mosque and praying to Mecca, Why is he calling for a one-world religion? I mean, this stuff is right out of Revelations.
Well, it's, I think, almost an axiom that if you were going to have a one-world government, you pretty well got to have a one-world religion. People have religion to fight over, they'll fight over it. So if they're all in one crew that way, that's one big thing eliminated. It also tones the church down to where it will never argue with the government, which it should be doing in any number of cases. For instance, abortion. And he has his own crew in there. Now they've been at this for well over 100 years, getting their people into the government of the church itself. And the people, I don't say all necessarily Freemasons, but most of them are vulnerable, as were the high muckety-mucks at Vatican II, to blackmail. And the blackmail was not necessarily that they belonged to the Freemasons, though in a number of cases it was so, but in almost all cases they had their hands in the till, or they had girlfriends, or they had boyfriends. Even a couple of our so-called popes have had boyfriends.
Which popes, so-called popes, had boyfriends?
Well, Paul VI had a gentleman, if I may use the term loosely, an Italian actor named Carlini. Very handsome man, used to dye his hair red, which I suppose I should take as a compliment. But he was not, he could come in and out of the Vatican at any time he pleased. And I've spoken to a man who was there and saw this happening. He was a member of the Vatican, what would you call it, the guards. He was there in a position where he could have stopped this man if he hadn't had orders not to.
Who else? What other so-called pope was involved in this?
Well, I hate to do this without, what would you call...
going into it in detail and proofing it, you know.
Yeah, it's a terribly destructive thing, and if you have no way to right offhand to prove it...
Oh, I understand, then. Let's not go there. I mean, but we see the same thing in the White House, Republican and Democratic Party. It's like Foley, the congressman, running the Missing Children and Exploited Children program, and then you've got two deputy heads of Homeland Security caught raping or trying to rape children. You've got Bohemian Grove, the Franklin cover-up, Skull and Bones. You got, even the New York Post reporting, quote, top gay porn stars service moguls at Bohemian Grove. This, I guess, is part of this Illuminati religion, or I guess it's a rite of passage so they know you're compromised, that you be involved in this. I think even bigger than just Freemasonry. And again, I'm not saying most Masons are low-level and don't even know what's going on, but high-level folks. But it seems like it is a rite of passage to do... I mean, I guess it's kind of like a low-level street gang will go, mug an old lady as a rite of passage so they know you're really a member of the crew, or the mafia, you got to kill two people to be a made member. I mean, is this a way to get made, or why? I mean, why is this so prolific and it seems to be a prerequisite?
Well, for one thing, I suppose you recall Bella Dodd, who was a member of the Communist Party, who returned to Catholicism and then let it be known that she personally had put 1,100, or was it 1,200, students into Catholic seminaries to study for the priesthood. And when she mentioned this in the 60s, she said they're about running the church now, these people. And we have this law of Pius V, which really puts the homosexual out of the business. He can't do anything in the church, and he should be turned over to the civil authority, and the civil authority at the time simply killed him. So this law was not included in this 1917